Lights, camera, fractions.
So the first thing I want to do is to review the angle pair properties. We looked at these recently, like we said, but a vertical angle, or a pair of vertical angles, will be something like this. Angle A, and angle B are vertical. Why are they vertical? Because they share their sides. Right? So this line segment and this line segment make up both of those angles. And what do we know about vertical angles?
They're equal to each other.
Yeah,
Or
they're congruent. So we could say angle A is congruent. Something like that. And it's funny to kind of get mixed up in the definition of vertical angles. They just are across from each other. It's a lot easier if you think of them as angles that are across from each other. Except if I were to, do something weird with the diagram, like make this not a line segment, then they're no longer vertical angles. So they really do have to share those two. They have to share their sides, right? And then the vertices are across from each other. So vertical angles are equal. And then linear pairs what makes a linear pair? We're going to look at how this might happen in a triangle. So here's my triangle. If I were to extend this side of the triangle, right, I now have, let's call this C and we'll call this D. I now have a linear pair. And what do we know about those two angles?
D plus D. They add up.
Yeah. The measure of angle C plus the measure of angle D equals 180, or they are supplementary. Right?
Alrighty, Titan.
And properties of triangles that we're going to talk about. There's really just one today. If I have a triangle, C are my angles, the sum of the angles in a triangle is always 180 degrees. Doesn't matter what type of triangle it is, every triangle has three angles that add up to 180 degrees. And this triangle A plus B plus C equals 180. So, let's say you have a diagram like this. We'll start off with a pretty simple one. Someone tells you this angle is 70 degrees. Trying to make it look somewhat believable. And this angle is 60 degrees, and they say
50 degrees.
find the measure of angle A or something like that. What would this one have to be?
50.
50. And how did you find that?
70 plus 60 is 130. 180 minus 130.
Yeah. 180 minus 130.
It shouldn't be 360.
The measure of the angles of a triangle adds up to
Oh.
180. In all cases. Doesn't matter what type of triangle it is.
Oh.
Can I erase this one? Let's say someone gives you this. And they say find, let's give this one a label. A, B, C. Yeah, so what is this angle right here? What is the measure of that? 90, right? 90 plus 60 is 150. And 180 minus 150 is 30. So this would equal 30. Don't forget the degrees symbol. Very important.
No work on the homework.
Not yet. Alright. But this does get a little bit more complicated when we start to look at our linear pairs and vertical angles. So if I have something like this,
Well, I can't see.
so here's the triangle, right?
Those two angles are the same. Why do you need that?
Then,
Just erase that.
what?
That little bit on the end.
I'll show you. So then, what I see here, this is always going to be
180.
a linear pair, right? So if you're given, and this in geometry is called an exterior angle, a triangle, if you're given the measurement of this, so let's say this is 130 degrees, then you can always find the corresponding interior angle by
Subtracting 130.
subtracting from 180, right? So that would be 50. And in the diagrams on the homework, what I want you to do is write things in as you find them. Because often, like, they're asking you to find something like, I don't know, this angle, right? They want you to find angle A here. But in order to find that, you might have to find 2 or 3 other things first. So write those in as you find them. Now let's say they also told us that this here was 90 degrees. Well, then how are we going to find angle A?
50 plus 90 is 140 plus 40
Plus-
is 40.
Yeah. So this angle is 40 degrees.
And then that.
And since these are vertical angles, then angle A also has to be 40 degrees. And then could you also tell me what this angle is here?
Wait, don't talk.
Yeah, 140 because this and this are also a linear pair. Right? B and 40 are a linear pair. Or this and this are also a linear pair, right? So I think the key with understanding the homework is sometimes you have to find intermediate angles before you can get the one that they're asking. Right? Just make sure there's nothing else I need to go over. There will be some on here that have like the, where you're finding for x, solving for x. And so then you have to go back to using algebra to finish solving those. But I think we covered everything else that's on here. Questions?